Hello out there, ghouls and goblins, and welcome to another edition of A Coward Watches. It's your buddy Ryan, aka The Coward, and today I am so very tired. Do you guys see these bags under my eyes? Do you see this heavy, dark circles and baggage? I haven't slept in almost 2 days because this movie that we're going to review is so terribly, unbelievably frightening and scary. I'm just kidding. It's really not that scary. I just suffer from anxiety, depression, and chronic insomnia. It's slowly killing me, but before I succumb to my condition, I wanted to bring you this review. And I know some of you are out there saying, Ryan, it's not that important. You shouldn't push yourself so hard. We appreciate you. We love you. We admire you. But don't push yourself to the point of exhaustion for us. Your wonderful fan base of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, I assume. The views maybe don't match that, but I think that's an algorithm problem. There are millions of fans out there. We just haven't gotten to all of them yet. You guys are the little seedlings that are going to go out into the world and spread my seed. Spread my seed. I might be a little delirious. Today, we're talking about 2018's Suspiria. No, not Salmonella, not Listeria, not Sarsaparilla, not Mysteria. Is that the Rihanna song? What the Shia LaBeouf? Is that? No, it's Suspiria, a 2018 remake of a 1970s horror classic that I didn't know existed. So the person who suggested this to me, if you wanted me to watch the 1971, I screwed up because I didn't know it existed until after I watched this one and was looking up some information on it. I was like, oh, there was another. Oh, okay. Because when I read things, I become a cross between Jay Leno and Jerry Lewis. Folks, this movie's got everything. Hot witches, old witches, ballet, Mennonites, and Tilda Swinton done up as an old man. And now everybody's favorite part of a movie review, a brief synopsis. Suspiria is the story of a girl named Susie. She's from Ohio. Her mother's dying. It's 1971. She travels to West Berlin, where she has an audition for a very exclusive dance troupe called the Marcos Dance Troupe or Marcos Institute, something Marcos. And the leader of this Marcos group is a woman named Madame LeClaire, who's also Tilda Swinton, this time without the old man makeup. She crushes her audition, right? And soon really weird stuff starts happening. There's a weird vibe there. There's a weird energy at this school. And we see one of the students flip out and she calls all the teachers and all like the mothers that keep the house. She's like, oh, you're all witches. You're a coven of witches and I hate you. And you manipulate everyone. So she's like, I'm out of here. I'm getting a cab. I'm going home. She gets stuck in this mirrored room, right? And she's like, oh, I can't get out. So at the same time, Susie's like, hey, I'll take her part, which is the lead or the protagonist, as they call it. I'll take her part. I know it. I used to watch it at the library all the time. I can do it. She starts dancing, and then we cut to this girl, and the dance moves are having an effect. The girl's like twisted up and getting knocked over and cut and ripped open. The dance is magic, and it's killing this girl, right? The old psychiatrist from the beginning of the movie, he's worried about one of his patients who was a student at this dance school. He has one of her books. He's reading it. He tells the cops, hey, something weird is going on here. The cops go there. Turns out these dead mothers are witches. They use their powers and they're just like, nothing's happening here. The cops go back to the guy. They're like, nothing weird there. Everything's above board. Don't worry about it, bro. he's still worried about it. More weird things are happening at the school, and we learn that this coven of witches had an election. Mother Marcos won. We haven't met her yet on screen. We won't until later on in the movie. Madame Leclerc came in second, and there's like a kind of a political struggle between them and the other witches who voted for the different ones going on. We're looking for one of these girls who has enough power that it can heal this Mother Marcos, who they say is very sick and dying. Susie keeps proving that she is the most powerful one. And all these witches are like, oh yeah, great, we gotta feed her to Mother Marcos. This Madame Leclerc is like, I don't think we should. I think we should take our time, blah, blah, blah. And the old man's still trying to investigate. He's trying to find out what's going on. They have a big performance, and the old man is there. And they want the old man there because they say they're mad at him for snooping around. They're like, he's going to be our witness. Apparently they need a witness to see whatever happens, right? At the performance, things go wrong. They're not able to do their ritual, whatever's supposed to happen. Everything gets kind of called off and messed up. The old man leaves. He goes back to his house, and there waiting for him is his wife, who he lost during World War II in a concentration camp. He never knew exactly what happened to her. He always held out hope that she was alive. There she is. She's walking along with him, and of course, it's a trick by the witches to get him back there. He gets back to the dance studio. The witches get him. They take him inside. And then the last scene of this thing, not the last scene, the last segment of this movie is wild as hell. We're in this secret chamber of the dance school, and all of the young witches are dancing nude, and there's like blood and stuff, and all the old witches are there and like watching on. And we meet Mother Marcos, who's like this disfigured, like fat, lumpy, kind of like, she's got all these like big sores and gross stuff on her. There's something wrong with her. She's all messed up. They're going to sacrifice Susie to her, give her her powers, or she's going to take over Susie's body, or whatever's going to happen. Mother Marcos basically kills Madame Leclerc, or almost kills her, half cuts her head off. And all of a sudden, Susie's like, guess what? I'm not Susie, the little girl from Nowheresville, Ohio. I'm Mother Suspiria, the like higher power that all of you witches pray to and stuff. And I'm here, and this is my new form, and I'm taking over. I don't like the way this coven's been run by Mother Marcos, who's a scam and isn't as powerful as me. I'm taking over. So all of a sudden she's like, snaps her fingers, and there's like this demon monster thing running around, and it goes to all the old witches that voted for Mother Marcos, and it's like, boom, and blows their heads up. It's like, boom, blowing their heads up. She kills Mother Marcos, she kills all of them, and she like grabs her chest and pulls it apart, and there's blood. It's very gory. It's very gross. So after all this, they let the old man go. He's all disoriented and everything. He makes his way back to his home or whatever. And apparently Susie is now going to be in control of this school and this coven and running things differently. She goes to visit the old man, and she apologizes to him for what the witches did to him and how things worked out, and says that's not the way she would have done things. And she lets him know that his wife did die in a concentration camp because she thinks he deserves to know the truth. But then she wipes his memories clear of everything because it's just too much for him to know when he's losing his mind. She leaves, and he doesn't remember any of it. That's the end of the movie. As you know, we give every movie that we watch here 2 ratings. One for quality and one for horror. Quality, was it a good movie? Horror, did it make me piss my pants? And I got to tell you, of all the movies I've watched so far, I think this one's going to be the most polarizing. I can definitely see people who would watch this movie and say, it's too artsy-fartsy, it's too slow-moving, not a lot happens, especially in the beginning, and the beginning's a little confusing. They don't lay things out clearly for us. I could see people who very much dislike it. I can also see people who say, hey, it's kind of a thinker. You have to stop, you have to think, you have to put it together. And it's a very disturbing movie. It kind of gets in your head and messes with you a little bit. I'm in the latter category. I like this movie quite a lot. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I would go a little higher, but I do have a few criticisms. It is a little slow moving. And I think there's some things that maybe they could have cut out, cut the runtime down a little bit and made a little bit of a tighter movie. But overall, it's a really enjoyable film. I think it's interesting. It made me think about the dynamics between East and West Berlin and how that was sort of playing out in the Coven and the two sides of the Coven fighting. As to horror, I almost went up to a 2.5, which would be the highest so far, but I had to keep it at a 2. There's some cool gore. There's some cool body effects of the witch's magic and how it like snaps people's bones and hurts people. And that last segment, especially, everything happening with the Coven and Mother Suspiria killing Mother Marcus and all that. It's very violent. It's very dark. It's very disturbing. So the movie's going to get a 5 overall, which is a fine score so far. That's going to have it in a tie for first place at this point. Thank you for watching this very sleepy review. I greatly appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, click the bell, comment, all the YouTube things you're supposed to do. Next time, we'll be watching a movie that I've actually seen before when it was in its theatrical release 20 some odd years ago, The Blair Witch Project. I hated it back then. Let's see what I think now.